Y'all tell me, why do you put yourself through so much torture to get your hair braided by the Africans? Like, what is going on? What's up, y'all? I'm Nicole. Welcome to my channel. I like to upload commentary content on everything that has to do with Black hair and Black beauty because there is just so much fluck-ish going on in these streets, child. And if you're into this kind of content, thank you for please hitting that thumbs up button, maybe subscribing, hanging out, leave a comment, whatever you feel you want to do. If you are a survivor of African hair braiding, please jump in these comments because I am a survivor, child. I have survived years of getting my hair pulled to the gods by the African braiders. And I first got my hair braided by an African braiding shop. It was probably had to be somewhere in the 90s. I know that I was like 19 or 20 years old. And, I think it was kind of the beginning of their presence in Harlem, where I'm from. And my shop was on 125th Street. And I was very excited about it because one of the ladies was standing out in front of the train station, giving out her flyers. And I was like, oh my God, Afua is doing African hair braiding for $65, box braids. And box braids are the same thing as knotless braids, right? But at that time, box braids were just box braids. And if you went to an African, your box braids would look different than if you went to like your homegirl around the way, which we also had like Keisha, Tanya, whoever, who also did our hair. Shout out to Tanya, who used to lace my box braids with wet and wavy human hair. So I got my hair braided for the first time. And I think I wanted I think it was Naomi Campbell. I think she was on the cover of Essence at the time with these gorgeous, like big, thick box braids. And they were new, at that time. Went and got it done, child. Loved it. Could not sleep for at least 3 days because the ish was so heavy. It was so tight. But ask me if I cared, because I did not care. And I continue to not care for many years after that. And maybe that could be part of the reason why I don't have a lot of edges right now. I don't know. But I'm also older and my hair is aging. So I won't attribute my lack of edge to me getting my hair braided by the Africans. But I do know that you can't get your scalp just pulled and think that your hair is going to get by unscathed, because unfortunately for some of us, it doesn't work like that. Some of us cannot afford to put our hair under so much tension without it being affected down the road. If you have experienced any type of hair loss situation as a result of getting your hair pulled too tightly by the Africans in the African braiding shops, jump down in the comment section and let us know. But just like the ladies in the video, you know what I'm saying? So many of us are out here just like biting our lip and going for it and saying, you know what, bump that. I don't care. I want to get my hair braided by the Africans, and I'm going to do whatever I feel that I need to do to make me feel good afterwards, girl, because it's worth it. That is what the girlies are saying, right? It's worth it, y'all. And if it's worth it for you, get in them comments, sis, because this conversation is for everybody. I want everyone to chime in. I don't care if you're pro, if you're against, it doesn't matter. Let your voice be heard, because that's the way I like to roll on my channels. There is one girl that I can say who for sure is kind of coming up out of that myth, that dream that it's okay to torture your hair just because you want to get your hair braided by the Africans. I came across this young lady who took to her social media after getting her hair braided to let her people know, like, I don't know if this is really it, sis. We're going to take a look at what she has to say because I'm intrigued and I think you may be intrigued. And I'm also curious just to hear what your thoughts are, what your opinions may be about what she has to say, because it's pretty interesting. So let's get into it.
Let's normalize African hair braiders actually protecting our hair instead of destroying our hair. Let's talk about beauty equals pain. Ugh. Let's talk about African hair braiders not snatching our brains from our scalp.
I know that's right.
This is my second night going through absolute pain.
Absolute.
For what? I'm not sure anymore. Last night got my hair braided by African hair braiders that I've gone to for many years. I normally am very selective, very picky.
Yes, ma'am.
Who I let do my hair.
I know that's right.
I've been told, oh, I'm so difficult when I get into someone's chair. Oh, I'm so picky. I'm so selective. Yeah, well, there's a reason.
I know that's right.
Us natural girls, we get protective hairstyles for a reason, because we want to protect our hair. We want to keep our hair that we have on our head.
Every strand.
So I chose to go back to this African hair salon that I've been going to for many years.
Okay.
Well, now they have 2 new ladies there that are not familiar with my hair, not familiar with me. This is now my second night of pure discomfort, pure pain, applying steaming hot towel rags to actually help relieve the pain and loosen up my tight braids. I won't even show you the tightness of my scalp right now.
Don't, please.
Because of the pain that I'm in. My second night now taking Aleve and Advil to just help me sleep to get through the night. Beauty equals pain, right? That's what they say. Yeah, these braids are beautiful.
Yes, they are.
They do a beautiful job.
Yes, they do.
Always.
Yes.
But is it really worth it? Is it really worth the discomfort? Is it really worth the pain? Is it really worth the destroying of our natural hair, of our scalp?
Ooh,
I'm not sure.
Not the destroying of our natural hair on our scalp. Is it worth it? I already got my answer. What's your answer to that question? Because for me, it's a no. It is a hard no for me. And you know what? I'm not going to even share all of my no, because my no is kind of like multi-layered. There are levels to my no. And by the way, I am not against African braiding salons, but I am against something about this whole little situation we got going on. We're going to go back into what she had to say. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. I'm just going to pull out the parts that really caught my attention. And I think it's definitely worth us taking a nice little stroll through. So hold on one second, y'all, because we're going to get this together all the way together. Okay? Okay, let's do this.
Normalize African hair braiders actually protecting our hair instead of destroying our hair.
Okay. So I just want to say that I don't think it's an African braider's job to protect our hair.
Y'all killing me with this.
Even though we're going to them for these protective styles, and let's just keep it real. When people go to get their hair done at an African braiding shop, a lot of times it has to do with speed, the fact that, they can get probably in and out a little bit faster than going to just a single individual braider. They go also because of convenience. They usually can just walk right in. They don't have to deal with the blah, blah, blah of having to make an appointment. They also go because it's probably going to be way cheaper than it would be to go to a private braider. Okay. With these 3 characteristics at play, I'm not sure why we also should expect for them to protect our hair, because if they're taking walk-ins, they're trying to take as many people as possible. They want us in and they want us out as quickly as they can. Is that the person who's really going to care about your hair on a level that you do? They also don't ask you to come pre-washed. At least all of the people that I have gone to have never asked me to wash my hair prior to getting my hair braided. Why would we think that an African braider would care to protect our hair? They'll braid dirty hair. You already know. If you're working with a braider of an African braid shop who's asking you to come with clean hair, child, you better let us know and put us on, because I ain't never heard that before. I'm also of the mindset, are they destroying our hair though? Can we really say that it's the braiders in the African braiding shops that are destroying our hair? Or, I don't know, call me crazy. Is it possible that we are destroying our hair by going to the African braid shops where we know that their whole game is speed and affordability? But are we destroying our hair when we know we're going to leave those shops with a hairstyle that's going to cause us pain and discomfort for days on end? Okay, let's continue.
Let's talk about beauty equals pain. Let's talk about African hair braiders not snatching our brains from our scalp.
Okay. Oh, listen, I hate to break it to you, but if you're going to sit in a chair for hours on end and keep your mouth shut and not let someone know that what they're doing to your head hurts, then that's your problem. If you're going to sit in a chair and close your eyes as tight as possible and tap your foot and pray to the gods that they hurry up and get off your nape, that's your problem. If you ask them to leave hair out around your edge, right? Because that's a very vulnerable area for most of us. And they forget, or they just grab it anyway, and you don't say anything, that's your problem. The issue is not that they're so heavy-handed, in my opinion. The issue is that you're not speaking up. When I got my locks established, my stylist has a sign in her shop on the wall that says, if you feel something, say something. When I first saw this sign, I gagged. I was like, oh my God, that is brilliant. Oh man, I never even thought about that. Like I was really, really taken aback by it because it was such a simple statement, but it was so powerful because it had so much loaded behind it. If you feel something right there, that's letting me know if you feel something, because even though I'm doing your hair, I may not know that what I'm doing is too much for your scalp. Say something. Because if I'm doing something that's hurting you, and if you don't tell me, I don't have an opportunity to make an adjustment. And that's really, for me, what it comes down to when we go into an African salon. It's like, even if their reputation is for braiding tight, even if you've been to many stylists before in an African salon and you've always had the same experience, if you don't give them an indication, if you don't say out of your mouth, this is hurting me, if you don't approach that chair and say, I have a heightened sensitive scalp in certain areas, or, you know, I'm postpartum shedding, please avoid this area. If you don't have that crystal clear communication with that stylist prior to the journey beginning, that's on you, boo. Period. Point blank. Like, that's on you. Even if there's a language barrier, because sometimes I understand maybe everyone in the shop doesn't speak English, but you best believe somebody does.
You think I'm here to play around with y'all? God damn it on that.
All right. Okay. And if nobody speaks English and if you don't speak their language, then sis, you definitely need to leave the shop. We can't even do that to ourselves. Like, where are we in life? Like, what is going on? It's like hair trafficking. Let's keep going, child. All right, let's go. If you have any questions about anything I'm saying, you already know the drill. Get in them comments. Okay, because we doing comments, child.
Last night got my hair braided by African hair braiders that I've gone to for many years. I normally am very selective, very picky about who I let do my hair. Us natural girls, we get protective hairstyles for a reason.
Just want to say, all protective styles do not protect. Back in the day when I was getting my hair braided in the very beginning, especially when I was going to African Braiders, we were not referring to the protective styles as such. We were getting braids, we were getting weaves, we were wearing wigs, okay? That's what it was. That's all it was. We was just getting box braids, we was getting cornrows, that's it, and that's all. So I don't even know when the term protective styling actually started, who coined it, what year. I feel that I first heard it somewhere around 2012, 2013. I'm not sure, but I was actually shocked when I heard it because I was like, oh, we're calling weaves protective styling. I thought weaves were weaves. So to me, even the notion of referring to these hairstyles as protective styling is a myth, because if you're not actually putting a style or having a style installed into your hair that is actually protecting not only just your strands, but also your scalp and your hair follicles, and sis, what is it really? Is it really protecting anything? And also, are we really going to the African braiding salons for a protective style when they braid as tightly as they do? Let's get real with this. Like, that makes no sense to me. Does it make sense to you? It makes no sense to me. It's not a protective style. It's not. Just because someone puts braids in your hair does not automatically make it a protective style. If you are not going to a shop where they are taking care of your strands and making sure that you have the most gentle, holistic, effervescent. Why did I choose that word? If you're not having that type of experience, if you're not making sure that when you get your hair braided, you know for a fact that you're not coming out of there with a headache, are you really having a protective style put in your hair? I don't think so. I used to be tender-headed, but now I like to refer to myself as highly sensitive. I have a highly sensitive scalp, okay? It is. It's very high. It's very sensitive, okay? I'm older. My hair is aging. I have hypothyroidism. My hair been through some things. You know what I'm saying? So my scalp be like, ooh, ah, 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 ah. But I'm going to speak on it because I refuse to not say I feel something in the chair and go home and just like let my scalp down because I decided to keep my mouth shut. I refuse to have an uncomfortable sleepless night because I decided to just bite my tongue. I refuse to see bumps around my nape because I didn't want to hurt my stylist's feelings when she was putting in that beautiful style. I refuse to do that. So when we think about protective styling, we have to go beyond the stylist, we have to go beyond the style, and we have to really look at what we're doing, how we are showing up for our hair. How protective are we really being or not?
Steaming hot towel rags to actually help relieve the pain and loosen up my tight braids. My second night now taking.
No. The steaming hot rag on your braids, loosening it up, I think that's kind of like a myth, to be very honest with you. I don't know if that's actually true because the way I look at things, when our scalp is on fire, when our scalp is on fire,
Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, my damn.
On the plus side, the oil is melting into your scalp.
Yeah, I got my head on fire. What you mean? Girl, don't do that, boo. You touched the wrong thing.
when our scalp is on fire, boo, that's inflammation, straight like that. Our whole joint is just completely inflamed. Our skin is the largest organ on our body. When we have agitated all of our hair follicles and pulled all the tension and things are just like, child, please. That's why that Advil be working, because that's anti-inflammatory. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about all of these things. Like, tell me where the sense is. If this makes sense to you, school me. I'm never going to stop learning. Never going to say that I know it all, because I don't. So please let me know. But that also, we go back to protective styling. How protective are you being with your style if you have to take medication and put a hot rag on your head to make it feel better, child? No.
Aleve and Advil to just help me sleep to get through the night. Or beauty equals pain, right? That's what they say. They do a beautiful job. Always. But is it really worth it? Is it really worth the discomfort? Is it really worth the pain? Is it really worth the destroying of our natural hair?
No, and no. It's not worth it. I think Africans do amazing, beautiful, woven hair work. It's an art to see them do it. And if you get the right hands in your hair, it's really on some fly-ish. You know what I'm saying? Is it worth it to save a couple of dollars and just lose a few hair follicles? That's okay. Is it worth it to save money if you won't have your edges, in 5 or 10 years? On my channel, there's a video where I spoke with one of my friends about her hair journey. Her hair loss journey actually started with traction alopecia, which comes as a result of your hair being pulled, too much tension being applied to your hair follicles and damaging your follicles to a point where they don't grow. The hair doesn't grow in those areas as abundantly as it used to, or in a lot of cases, it just goes away and it just never returns.
A was what I look like up under the wig. You can just see the side view, but the front view with the light shining on it wasn't any hair there.
She was very transparent about her journey, and she went from traction to alopecia in the beginning, and now she's at a hair transplant. She had a hair transplant because she had to get the hair back somehow, and it worked out beautifully for her. You guys need to check the video out because her story is so inspiring also, and she also has locks. That's what the other side of these very tight hairstyles, these very tight braiding styles look like. It could look like hair loss. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys have a lot to think about, and I hope you guys have, you know, a lot of comments to leave for me. At this point, I think it's just crazy to put your hair through that kind of trauma when you know that we have other options out here, because your hair definitely deserves better. That's facts. Thanks for watching. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Braid it right. Break it good. Braid this hair just like you should. Not too tight. Just so good. I want to sleep feeling good. My neck, my back. I want to lay on my back. My neck, hey, my back. I want to lay on my back. My neck, hey, my back. I want to lay on my back when my hair is braided, 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 braided.